Get in, nerds. We are playing Hearts of Iron 4. We are still progressing forward. I just want to give you a short status update on where we're going. Spain has almost been completely conquered by the nationalists. Here's another Congress event. And Japan is still working in China. They made a little bit of progress in Shanxi, but otherwise, they've basically gotten bogged down. This is about a year into the war, closing in on a year into the war at this point. So I think it's safe to say they're not going as fast as anyone in Japan would like. They have completed all those decisions, and that's brought our base war support up to 10%. We did the Neutrality Act, so we don't have a bunch of aid China decisions available, I don't think. But let's take a look and see. Yep, nope, not yet. Let's go ahead and found ourselves a intelligence agency. We'll call it the Office of Strategic Services, because that's what it is. And by the way, we are going to do the historical superior firepower doctrine over here in Doctrines. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up about that. We do have 107 air experience available, so we're going to go ahead and get our air stuff. I don't know what the historical options are here for the USA. I'm going to go with air crew surveys to reduce accidents chance and air doctrine cost. And then over here, I'm going to do veteran air instructors to reduce air wing experience loss when killed. Now that we've got a two-ocean Navy dockyard system, let's go ahead and build ourselves a better battle cruiser. So this is going to be just called our Battle Cruiser 2. We're going to get a heavy battery here. We're still just going to kind of go with fire control. It's not going to be that much better, but we are going to go with AA for this slot. It's going to reduce our light attack, but our heavy attack is going to be significantly higher. And we got radar 1, so that should be fine. Give us a little bit of extra surface detection. I don't know how much that's going to matter for a battle cruiser, but in fact, it might not matter at all, but it'll be fine. Go ahead and save that, and we'll queue in one of those for production. We're also going to fix up our Brooklyn class. We're going to call this the Great General Purpose Light Cruiser 2. Not going to build too many of these, but we're also not going to build none. Upgraded catapults, upgraded anti-aircraft here. We're going to go with... we're still going to use fire control for this one, and we'll do radar. No, we'll use sonar. We don't need fire control for this. And we'll use our task force shipbuilding company for this. Go ahead and save. I'm going to end up building 4 of these. And obviously, they're all going to go into the fleet. I'm going to set 5 dockyards on each. And we're once again short of chromium. We're going to purchase more of that from Cuba. Two Ocean Navy Act is complete. Now we're going to support Rock Island. That's going to give us some nice research bonuses for a little, for a little bit of extra, a little bit of extra research. Let's see. We got a bunch of political powers stored up. I think we're going to go with, we should wait and do GM. Doing GM later would be rad. Oh, that's right. We got the cheaper land fellas. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll pull Omar Bradley into the government, because he's going to give us a big ol' reduction in doctrine cost for superior firepower. Well, does that make sense to do right now? Not yet. We're going to get him eventually. Let's do Mark Clark, the infantry guy, and should probably do Jack Fletcher, the carrier guy. Oh, he's still 100. We'll wait on that. There's the amphibious tank chassis. We're going to not necessarily design one of those for now, but we'll see about that. It's still August of 38. We don't have any immediate pressure over there, so let's work on some of our naval auxilia. Auxiliary naval technology. Once again, we are holding the Washington factory until after the election, because we don't need the support now, but we'll probably need it once the election finishes, because we'll probably lose a bunch of seats in Congress, the way Congress always does. I'm not loving this, whatever's going on with this this here scroll situation. I might research heavy tanks just so that I don't have to deal with that. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, we'll start working on excavation tech. It probably makes sense to get Standard Oil. Well, I'm going to get GM later, though. I am going to get GM later. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to do? I think it does. I think it does, because this is part of our... we do have a focus that gives us access to GM. In fact, we've got access to it quite soon. We can't do giant wakes quite yet, so we're still in isolation, which gives us a bunch of penalties to factory construction speed. But once we get a chunk more world tension, then we'll go there. So for the Intel Agency, I'm going to go directly to forming the cryptology department. I think that just makes sense to do. Go ahead and deploy these National Guard divisions. They're going to be underexperienced, but once they're where they want to be, they'll be fine. We've got a few units that are undersupplied. Why do we have 5 in the Line Islands? Where are you? Oh, right. Yes, I need to motorize the supply hub in Hawaii. Nationalist victory in the Spanish Civil War. After a long and grueling civil war, the Nationalists, united under Francisco Franco, have finally defeated their Republican enemies and secured full control over Spain. Though isolated pockets of Republican troops continue to wage a guerrilla war that may well hamper the exertion of local nationalist control in previously Republican areas, it is unlikely further coordinated resistance of any significance will materialize. As the nation focuses on rebuilding its war-torn cities and industry, it remains to be seen what efforts the nationalists' ideological amalgamation will have on their foreign policy and whether the generous foreign military aid they receive will be repaid. And there's Franco. An interesting development. There we go. A little concerned over my logistics there for a second, but not too worried about it now. The Fourth International. A number of communist delegates from around the world met in Paris today for a founding conference. Laying the groundwork for what has been known as the Fourth International, calls for its formation have existed for years, with supporters of Trotsky's theories taking the lead. Stalin has responded to the growing support for Trotskyism abroad by ordering additional assassinations and increasing propaganda against his old rival. With the past purges of suspected Trotskyists in the high ranks of the Soviet military and leadership in recent memory, this is unlikely to be met with any resistance. How many internationals will there be? Obviously, over here in the United States, we're not too concerned about that situation. actively managing our factories here. I think it's time to cue the Indiana infrastructure up to the top. The Munich Agreement. German demands for the Sudeten territory in Czechoslovakia, which is home to a considerable German minority, have intensified. At a summit held in Munich, Germany, Britain, France, and Italy sought to find a diplomatic solution to the so-called Sudeten crisis. Czechoslovakia was not invited to attend. An agreement was reached in which Germany annexes the Sudetenland, but will not pursue any further territorial gains in Europe. Mr. Chamberlain spoke, that's the Prime Minister of the UK, spoke to crowds in London. For the second time, a Prime Minister has returned from Germany bringing peace with honor. I believe it is peace for our time. Now why this year, then? Hungary renounces the Treaty of Trianon. In a public declaration, Miklos Horthy has renounced the treaty imposed by the Allied powers after the Great War. Signed by the Hungarians under protest in 1920, it greatly reduced the country's size and limited the strength of its military. In his speech, Miklos Horthy already hinted that Hungary may soon look towards reaffirming their claims on the territories taken from them 2 decades ago. They're meddling with the world order! They're meddling with the world order! I'm gonna buy some guns. Let me see, who's selling guns? Sweden's selling a bunch of stuff. Here's Belgium, offloading a bunch of weaponry. Here's the Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, Ireland. Interesting option. So here's Australia. Yeah, let's buy some Australian guns. We'll just buy all of them. They will not accept. We've embargoed. They're embargoed me. Gosh darn it. All right, not them then. Who's this? This is Bolivia. Canada, Chile, Costa Rica. A lot of South America is selling weaponry. Oh, here's Mexico. Basic infantry equipment. Not too excited about basic infantry equipment. Philippines. You know what? We'll buy Filipino weapons. Absolutely. In fact, we'll buy all of it. This will be 3 deliveries over the course of 3 months. We'll get 2,100. Yeah, that'll work. I have so much construction capacity at this point that it just makes sense to shell out as much of that as I need to build up my my infantry equipment reserve. Philippines accepted the purchase offer, shocking literally no one. All right. This division's fully developed. There's the maintenance company, and that is... Signal would be interesting. MP would be interesting. Let me see, where are we with Rock Island? 45 days. Go ahead and work on excavation 2. USA can always use more excavation tech. I'm going to queue in some factories in Indiana and Missouri. Let me see, we still got quite a bit of political power to play with. Base war support is at 10. I could hike it using the radio propaganda. Actually, giant wakes is what we're looking for to move off of. Isolation. So I think, in fact, that's what we're going to do. But we're going to wait a little bit longer to ensure that we can make absolutely sure that we don't lose a little bit of war support due to world tension naturally decaying, which it does over time. So I didn't really draw attention to this, but I'm doing it now. So this is the Sudeten territory here. Here's the Sudetenland, here's the Eastern Sudetenland. These are the territories that have been taken over by Germany from Czechoslovakia. And they're where Czechoslovakia's primary physical defenses were. Interesting little tidbit in history. When German military planners... This is an historical event that happened. When German military planners got a look at the fortifications that the Czechoslovakian government had built, they basically said, we would never have been able to win a war, an offensive war against Czechoslovakia with the present conditions. They said they would have gotten completely wrecked, which is funny to me. J. McCook. We got a spy now. We're not going to do any spying necessarily right at the moment, but it's definitely something we're gonna be having in the future. So we got a good number of amount of anti-tank and artillery built up. So let's go ahead and get some infantry divisions in training. We're going to put these three deployed and get them into our primary army. And then we'll get this whole army back on exercising to get them the rest of the experience they need to be leveled up. This is the cavalry still. I'm going to queue in 3 more divisions, and those divisions are going to go to the Philippines. There's Rock Island finishing out. So let's go ahead and hit the radio propaganda button. It's going to put our war support above 30%, and that's going to allow the giant to wake. Now I am become giant. Unpausing here. And that will be a good time. What did I... Chromium again. I can't believe Great Britain embargoed me. I can't believe Great Britain embargoed me. Ridiculous. Here's the improved fire control system. Let's go ahead and get the anti-tank researched. We'll continue working on building up strategic bomber technology. Because this is an historical run, I am going to build strategic bombers. This might seem like a silly decision, and I agree that it kind of is, but you know, that's we're doing real U.S. history here. This is definitely not any kind of inaccurate or otherwise any kind of doctored history or anything like that. I'm just kidding. This game is, like, obviously this is not a completely historically accurate simulation of what went down from 1936 to 1948. Some things are more... some of the ideas are more fanciful than others. We're out of support equipment? Oh my. We sure are, actually. So we need to queue more factories into that. Hadn't even noticed. Let's see. I don't think we're actually going to need this much towed anti-tank. Nah, we'll leave it. Always better to have a surplus. Representative speaks passionately in support of the government. You know that's a good time. So, cryptology, who are we going to decrypt? We're going to decrypt Germany and Japan. We're going to run 2 at a time. We're going to upgrade our cryptology over time to match our cryptology needs. In fact, did I start a new upgrade? Yes, I did. I recall these not taking as long as they're currently taking. It's a wild time. Alright, there's bracket shooting. I think we got one more tech bonus. Yeah, from Rock Island. So we're going to go ahead and throw that into Logistics Company 2. Because logistics companies are very, very important. Next 3 research slots that come open are probably going into industry. To continue to get industry built up. In fact, I might actually divert one or both of my excavation slots over to industry just to make sure that that goes down without a hitch. Alright, it's November 6th. Time to queue our... Oh, Washington munitions plant is already being built. It will get done by November 11th, which I think is just about the right amount of time. I'm going to micro this here just to make sure that that goes down the way I want it to go down. There we go. Elections to Congress. The people have spoken. So as you can see here, we've lost a bunch of congressional support. I'm going to hit the medium lobbying effort button and combining that together with the pork barrel spending that we've already slated, we should be completely well equipped to have what we need to have. I am probably going to... Well, I'm not going to be able to switch immediately over to partial... Oh, no, I am. Okay, I'm going to switch to partial mobilization as soon as this gets done, and that's going to mean a massive increase in our military equipment output. And I'm going to be very pleased with that, because we're America, and we're going to need to flex our military might. I'm going to put this army on the Mexican border. Just for funsies, not because I intend any kind of aggression against Mexico, just to enjoy a good time. Let me see, who else can we buy equipment from? France is selling equipment. Amazing. Queen Maud? No. While on a visit to England to see her family and her brother, King George V of the United Kingdom, Queen Consort of Norway and Princess of Wales before that. I think there's supposed to be a Queen Maud in there. While on a visit to the United Kingdom to see her brother, King George V of the UK, Queen Consort of Norway, Maud, and Princess of Wales before that, has died of heart failure in her sleep. A complication after an abdominal surgery earlier this week is believed to be the culprit. She was a beloved figure in Norway and will surely be missed by her son, Prince Olav, and her husband, Håkon VII, the King of Norway. A loss to us all. I'll buy some more equipment. Let's see. Netherlands. Is Yugoslavia selling anything? I would love to buy from Yugoslavia. Soviet Union, maybe? IT. Oh, interesting. Paraguay. Venezuela. South Africa. Can't buy from South Africa. They're... Freaking Great Britain. Why would you do this? Mexico is selling me back guns that I sold them earlier, which is kind of interesting. Nice little bit of implicit storytelling there. Okay, who in South America is democratic? Colombia, Ecuador, Uruguay, and Chile. Colombia, Ecuador, Uruguay, and Chile. So, equipment. That's the Netherlands. Wait, that's the Netherlands. This is France. All right. Right. Chile is only selling basic equipment. Colombia, basic. Here's some infantry equipment 1. Give me all of it. Firefighting drills are done. Let's get started on industry. Ecuador accepted the purchase. Very nice. I think... No, it's not time to start building a medium tank just yet. Although it will be pretty soon. Let's put 1 additional factory into... we'll throw some more into infantry equipment. I'm buying a bunch of that in the international market, so it makes sense that I would start to produce more of it. In fact, we'll do we'll slate a big increase of our regular equipment types. To those, I should research the armored train. Armored trains are fun. Everyone likes armored trains. Ours are upgraded. Artillery. And that means it's tank time. I don't know what to do about this, friends. Okay, hold on. There's a way to do this. Save as new. All right. Save as new. There we go. Now we got a scroll bar. All right. Where's my... Oh, it was down here. Well, maybe I didn't need to do that, but it was fun. Professional gamer. All right. Christie suspension, welded armor, gas engine, medium cannon, radio 2. For secondary stuff, we'll do sloped armor, machine gun, and smoke launcher. This is pretty slow for a Christie suspension tank. What the heck? I'm running gas engine. I'm running Christie suspension. Maybe I want diesel engine. I think I do. I remember the basic light tank being... The basic medium tank being a lot better, better numbers over here. So I want ideally 80 and 80. Gosh. You know what? I think we're going to need to sacrifice the smoke launchers. We get wet ammo storage. That'll get us a little bit more reliability. And just a little bit of armor, I guess. Hold on. If we do the diesel engine... Even if we max out on armor, we're not going to get the speed on engine. We're not going to get the speed we want with diesel. That's curious. I think we're going to go with an almost completely unupgraded armor configuration for these tanks. If you think my tank design is bad, let me know in the comments. We're going to call this our MBT 39. Even though it's not technically 39 yet, we're going to call it 39 because it's futuristic. We're going to mark the light tank as no longer needed. And we're going to add some text to the... Oh, this is why. Yeah, because these are... Yeah. Alright. We're going to put more reliability on those engines. How's that? Medium tank designer. Except we're going to do that. And we're going to get... we're going to set 10 factories to producing these. We got some nice infantry equipment coming in. Feeding our allies some extra... not experience, but construction capacity at least. And actually, we're going to put this tank up at the top. We're not necessarily going to need all of this, all these improvements to infantry equipment right away. Still working forward with these. So what are we short of? We're short of... It's really just infantry equipment. So that's good. I'm feeling pretty good about that so far. Spanish Civil War ended with Franco in control of Spain. It's the end of 38. Japan continues to be completely disinterested in making any progress in China. They don't still have the debuff, do they? No, they don't. Already under section group. Very good. We'll continue to boost that. And now I am become giant. Wonderful. We're going to go with wartime industry to get me access to GM. And we're going to go straight to partial mobilization. This is the highest level of mobilization we have access to as a democracy without being at war. And we're going to build military factories a whole heck of a lot faster now that we are partially mobilized. It's time to also build up some fuel storage capacity. You know what? Yeah. I think we'll actually max out the infrastructure in Nebraska and Kansas before we do all that extra stuff there. Gonna slide these up the track to make sure we're not working on them at the same time. We're absolutely lousy with naval experience, so let's go ahead and let's do some Marine research. We'll get started with Elevate the Marine Corps. This enables a pioneer unit, gets us extra naval invasion capacity, and reduced contribution to special forces capacity from Marines, which is lovely. Continue to buy chromium from Cuba. Anyway, it's the beginning of 1939. This is going to be the year that Germany invades Poland, so it is likely to be an extremely eventful one for the run, not necessarily for us personally, but you know, we'll get there. Go ahead and set my 1 armored division exercising so that it can continue to get ready to go. But that is all we've got time for tonight. We've made some good progress. We've gotten through the first 3 years of the game. We've gotten a lot of preparation done. We're in pretty good, solid stead. So I'm feeling pretty pleased. I'll probably go on an equipment purchasing frenzy as soon as the next session starts. we're going to be shelling out a lot of construction, but we're the United States. We're absolutely chock full of construction capacity, so I'm not at all worried about it. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, friends. I've had a good time. I hope you've had a good time, and I will see you all on the other side.